Today, we're talking about camera slings. With so many options on the market, it's hard to choose what exactly is the perfect sling. Here I have 3 different options with multiple variants and one bonus option, which I think might actually be the perfect everyday camera sling. So let's do a quick overview of what we got here, and then we'll dive into the details. Taking a look between the bigger side travel slings, the 9 and the 10 liter, down to the 6 and what I believe is a 3. So this is my go-to everyday camera sling. It's big enough where I can get most of my gear in it, but sometimes it's a little too big. So that's where I thought, well, what about the smaller 6 liter variant? So we'll take a look, we'll compare these two. So this camera bag is kind of like a square, like log shape. It sits up by itself. The back side has this like meshed padding. It's super comfortable. And they even claim you can fit a laptop in it. I've never done that, but we'll see if my MacBook fits in there. So the design between the 6 and the 9, so this is the 9, this is the 6, is identical other than the actual dimensions. There's a 3, I believe, which the design does vary a little bit, but seeing how small the 6 is, I can't see really any use for a 3 liter camera bag. So we'll look inside here. You can see there's 2 dividers, which you can break it up into 3 different slots, and really you can, I mean, it's Velcro, so you can move them wherever you want. So I originally had my ZV-E10 in here, and with a lens on, you can see that it fits okay. Depending on the camera you have, you'll want to adjust them. This is kind of what I found with like longer lenses, and my full-size camera fits best is just going straight in like this. But if you were using something smaller, or like the kit lens, you could actually put the camera in this way. It's just, this is such a long, this is the 17 to 70 Tamron. But you can see there's room for your camera, however you like. I actually have my air accessory and a full-size 85mm lens in here right now. So normally this is my full-size camera bag. And then you can actually fit like 3 other lenses just here on the side. Microphones, like really whatever you need. The amount of gear this thing holds is probably like the main reason why I use it so much, is I like taking 2-3 lenses with me. There's a little pouch up here. You can keep like little accessories. Back here, this is, there's some things for like memory cards, just like Velcro for like memory cards, batteries, whatever you want, and then 2 other slots where you could put like filter, like ND filters or whatever you got. And then behind that, this is the laptop part of it. The way it actually works, I'm gonna unload some of this so I don't just start yard sailing everything around. Is you unzip the bottom of it, and then it actually sticks down. So it's kind of like a trick. Like, let me get my laptop. So this is a 13-inch MacBook Air, I believe. And does it fit? Oh, maybe I'm hanging up on this strap. Okay, it does technically fit. It is maxed on the wide side. But then you can see you have this area hanging down, which is your laptop, which is then not protected in the slightest. But it technically does hold it. Man, honestly, because of the way this works, you could put a bigger laptop in here. This is the 13. I don't see why you couldn't put the 15 on the side. And then you're meant to use this strap here. Keep it from flying out. You can see there's a few inches of space there. It's probably what you're actually supposed to do, because this isn't the widest laptop and it really didn't want to fit. So tablets would obviously be no problem. I don't usually use these slings though for like travel. Usually, okay, so let's try that zipped up and then put this in. Okay, so if you leave it zipped up and then use the strap, that actually feels a little bit better. So then the bottom's not sticking out, it's flush and padded, and then you just have this little bit up here to worry about. That's the way I would do it. I'm sure a tablet would fit flush, but I don't really use this sling as a travel bag. It's more for like day stuff, maybe weekend. So I guess, yeah, maybe if you're a weekender, having all that in there would be helpful. But usually I just use like extra batteries. And then there's a compartment on the front of both of these. Oh, those are my SD cards. Yeah, it is water resistant, not waterproof, and there's only one zipper on the top, which kind of sucks. It would be nice to have dual zippers, but when it's zipped up, you know, you don't have to worry about like a light drizzle or anything. I wouldn't like go rafting with it or anything like that, but it's nice to have a little bit of protection. And then because of the way the flap sits, usually when it's on, I'll like grab my camera out, maybe like a lens, and then I have it on my side. I don't even zip it back up, which is kind of nice, not having to like open and close it constantly when you're kind of moving about. So the 6 is the exact same. The difference is it's quite a bit smaller. So it's too small to fit your camera up and down like that. So you actually have to take a compartment out, which is fine. That's what they're meant for. So then we have a camera and a lens there, and then you really only have room for like one more lens. So this is my 85, and it fits, but it's tight, and then you're totally filled up. So you can see I had like 3 more lenses in the other bag, which depending on what you're trying to do is fine. The size is actually pretty... God, this thing's dirty. The size is actually pretty good. For a 6-liter bag, I do think it is a good design. but you can at least see what you can fit. I'm gonna say a full size, so I have the ZV-E10 and the E1. The full size E1 fits perfect. The FX30 is tight. Totally doable, but a little tight. This might be the better compromise between size and usability, and the function's the same. So I originally wanted to try these out because they're made in well, okay, the company is apparently in Utah, but they sublet everything to Vietnam. And there is a lifetime warranty with their products, but you have to register them. So on the 6, they actually claim it fits a 14 and 16 inch laptop. I guess we got a laptop here, we could try it out. So it's the exact same design as the bigger one, obviously just smaller. So definitely too small to go horizontal, but vertical. And we're definitely gonna have to undo the bottom. Okay, so yeah, there's a, well, this is a 13, but I definitely believe that the other two sizes would fit. I just think that it would be kind of ridiculous. Deciding between what size to get is the main thing. So kind of got to pick what kind of camera you got and how much gear you plan on moving around. So I would say with all of the 6-liter options, it's basically one camera, one basic zoom lens, and then another either really small zoom or a prime. Is really all you're going to get in any of the 6-liter options. One thing I did forget to mention is there's this thing's like a transformer, but this folds down and you can actually fit a tripod in here, which I usually just carry the tripod on my side. It's kind of like clunky. Things start getting kind of hectic when you got, I couldn't even imagine like a laptop and a tripod hanging out. I mean, this thing would just be a beast. The shoulder strap is pretty nice. It's padded, and you can actually unclip these and switch it around depending on which side you want. But it is fixed, and then you adjust it with the nylon strap. And this was my first camera bag. I needed something to put my camera in and travel around. This thing is super cheap. It was like $20 or something. But I quickly found that it was just too small. I think this is actually for camcorders, but with one, this is my ZV-E10, so my smallest camera with a zoom lens, and that's it. That's all you're gonna get in there. You can get like an accessory and some memory cards, but you're not getting, you're not gonna get multiple lenses in here. And so that's really kind of when I started like looking for another bag. But I went to the other extreme, and this thing's made in China. I'm trying to look for a size. I think this is a 3-liter bag, honestly. All right, so next we got the Peak Design. So this is the 10-liter, which I don't know, for me it felt a little bit too hard to like get in here. You're just like kind of fighting this thing. The width is pretty good, just so long. So if you need a lot of space, honestly, this one might have functionally just as much, maybe more space than the Wandrd. I love these quick change flaps, so it's like a divider. So you can put multiple lenses in here and not have to worry about them jangling together. It's awesome as far as that goes. Because of how long it is, you can actually fit a really long, this 70 APS-C lens is the longest lens I have, but you can easily put it face down like that and have plenty of room to like still close your bag. So this is a good bag. I also like how these quickly change over from one side to the next. They remind me kind of like the Bellroy straps, but these are Velcro and removable. So if you did want to lay your gear down like that, you can. And then, you know, you got your flaps that can fold down. So it's just, the bag's so narrow. It's just kind of, it's a little different to get used to. But depending on the setup you have, this might be perfect. This strap is pretty comfortable. It's like a seatbelt type material, similar to their camera straps, but it's got a sewn-in pad, so you actually have to undo it. It's a little weird. So it's like there's this metal thing here to like help you adjust, quickly adjust it, but then the actual clamp and these are plastic, and it's apparently made out of recycled materials, which feels weird. And then getting in this front pocket is just kind of a pain. Maybe you could hook something with these to like try to get a tripod hooked to the bottom. Other than that, there's like this, I think it's a suitcase. So when it comes down to the Peak design, I do personally think it's more preference. I think that the functionality is fine. Inside of here, there are little pockets for SD cards and batteries, and there's some cables which could hook onto the bottom here, which I think these are probably for like if you're trying to get, I mean, you could put your coat under there, but probably for a tripod. The thing I do like about the Peak design is that it kind of just looks like a laptop bag, or like a everyday like normal sling. It doesn't look like a camera bag, which can be nice because it's super inconspicuous. There is also a laptop slot back here, which, because of the design of this thing, actually protects it quite well. I'm gonna say that was so hard to get out or in that I don't know if you could fit one much bigger. Overall, I think it's a good bag. The quality feels nice. It is nice how slim it is, and the profile. Now, I was like, okay, it's so tall. What about a 6 liter? Is the 6 liter any better? I think the 6 liter is unusable. It is so small. I don't see how you could fit. I mean, this is an APS-C sensor camera, a small APS-C sensor camera. And it is very tight. Take that back. This actually might be the most usable 6 liter design. No, see that? Yep, this is what I remember. Is yeah, it doesn't want to close now. think it's too small for a full size. God, it's just kind of janky, you know? It's like I'm not sure how you're supposed to fit anything in here. That does not feel good at all. Yeah, so you would have to take off your lens every time you wanted to use this thing. And if you did that, I think it would be okay. So it's like you could have one small lens underneath on the side over here, one zoom over here, and then your camera and a zoom. So technically it might be a little bit more functional than the 6-liter Wandrd, but I don't know. It's just kind of like feels just like you're fighting stuff all the time in this thing, which I don't like. And it's still kind of wonky to close. There are 2 zippers, which is nice, and this thing is very just kind of like, it almost looks like a fanny pack, honestly. You have all the same features. There's this, I think they don't even claim a laptop can fit in here. I think they just say iPad. All right, down to what I think might be the best 6-liter. So this is Nomatic. I don't know what series this is. There's like a weird little pirate thing on the back, which I'm not a huge fan of. But the design, I think, for a 6-liter is great. So what I've been doing with my full-size camera is setting it in there on the side like this. With this zoom, obviously, you have to take one of these out. But you get your zoom on the side, and then you got room for another lens over here in the corner. And I've been taking the 85 millimeter full frame with me. So I'll have my full frame camera in here with a lens on it and set it like that. And then it closes great. There's no issues with like bulging or anything like that. One thing I actually like is when it's on you, these like side tethers here keep it from like opening all the way and having all of your stuff blow out. But this is actually attached to the bag itself. This is separate. And in here you have some pockets for batteries, SD cards, miscellaneous cables, stuff like that. And then you got 2 more things here for whatever you'd want. Now you can't put a lot in there, so usually I'll have like my duster. And if you were to try to put like a lens in here, for example, this is the 20 mil. There's no way it's gonna close. Like it closes right up. It's got to be very small, basically like batteries or SD cards or anything like that. But what's really nice is they got this like quick strap. So this keeps it from like opening and having something fall out on you, but it's super easy to get in and out of. And it's got 2 zippers, which I'm a big fan of. Just seems like it's easier to get in there. You can like pick which way you want to zip it, up or down, or you use them both, or however you like. The only thing is I don't see a way to attach like a tripod. This thing is so small. I don't know if you'd want to. all of the 6 liters here. So you can see it's shorter and kind of a little thicker, but not by much. Keep in mind this thing's full, there's nothing in here. Compare it to the Wandrd, which it's pretty close to the size of the Wandrd. You can see these here. The Wandrd I think is good. I just think I like the in and out of here. It can be a little tight with like a full-size camera, just because this does hang over a little bit, and it is a little tight with like getting this lens on with the shroud. But if you weren't using that, then it's not a big deal at all. This is really like a big lens. For you to compare the size of these two, this thing is pretty massive. I mean, the lens is bigger than the whole camera over here. So overall, this is my favorite 6-liter pick. And what I've decided is it's kind of nice having 2 different size bags. A bigger one where you can put really all the gear that you want for the day. And then one that's just a little bit smaller and inconspicuous. I think this flies lower than the Wandrd. I don't think it flies as low as the Peak Designs. But in my opinion, I think it is way better to use, and the design is better than the Peak Design ones. And maybe you'll like it, and depending on your setup, maybe it's better for you. I just think it's like they were so close to hitting it out of the park, but they just didn't. The other thing is this is my favorite shoulder strap. So this actually slides on the belt. So you can put it on wherever you want. You can put it around you, and this will stay on your shoulder and then you can just slide the bag around. I mean, as far as usability goes, I think this is the best functioning. I wouldn't want it any bigger because it is kind of square like the Wandrd, but for a 6, I think it's a great option. Also, I think this thing was less money than the Wandrd as well. So that's an overview of the camera bags. Hopefully you found it kind of informative. I know it's kind of like complicated. You want to like check. There was one of these bags that I was looking at, and they didn't even have any photos of the bag like open, so you couldn't even tell like what like the layout was. You just had to like take their word for it. And so just trying to be able to like see and compare like what the differences are to help you choose. Yeah, otherwise you have to just like buy a bunch and return the ones that you're not happy with, or you know, you end up buying one, using it for a while, deciding you really don't like it, and then buying another one, and the next thing you know, you got like 3 camera bags. So hopefully this helps you guys. And if you've made it this far, just want to say thanks. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.